Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Eastwood versus Bowling Green. Let's sit back and get ready for a battle of the cranial karatekas. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game. It is Eastwood versus Bowling Green. What are we waiting for? Let's meet our starting lineups. For Eastwood, led by Coach Effort. In slot number 1, we have Zach, a freshman. In slot number 2, we have Henry, a senior. And in slot number 3, it is Scott, the sophomore. Now for Bowling Green, led by Coach Parrish. In slot number 1, we have the junior, Nathan. In slot number 2, Ariana, a senior. And in slot number 3, another senior, and it is Edwin. All right, welcome to Eastwood and to Bowling Green. This is BGSU Brain Game, and we start things off as we always do with the toss-up round. This round has 10 questions. Each question is worth 10 points. No deduction for an incorrect answer, so you can relax. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. All right, toss-up round starts right now. Noted for his black and white photography, this American artist's focus was primarily the American West in Yosemite National Park. Who was this naturalist with the initials AA? That would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Anderson.
Incorrect. Eastwood, chance to steal. Scott puts down his buzzer. It was Ansel Adams is who we were looking for there. Although not often seen in contemporary times, this single eyeglass piece is kept in place by that would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Monocle.
Monocle is correct. What nonprofit program administered and partly funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture was founded in 1902 to provide better agricultural education for young people? Eastwood. Scott.
The FDA.
Incorrect. Bowling Green, chance to steal here. That would be Nathan.
FFA?
Will we accept FFA? We will accept it. Yes, we will. Multiple choice question. By what name is a young bird known that has just grown the feathers needed to fly and is capable of surviving outside the nest? Is it A, nestling, B, fledgling, or C, hatchling? That would be Bowling Green. Nathan.
B, fledgling.
B, fledgling is correct. In the structure of the U.S. government, two official groups, the House of Representatives and the Senate, represent the people. What adjective is used to describe this type of system? That would be Bowling Green. Edwin.
Bicameral or bimac.
We cannot accept that. I'm sorry. Eastwood, chance to steal. That would be Henry.
Bicameral.
That's what we needed, bicameral. On the American calendar, which day and date that sometimes occurs as many as 3 times per year is perceived by many Westerners, that would be Eastwood. Zach.
Friday the 13th.
As bringing bad luck. Friday the 13th is indeed correct. Which of Charles Dickens' novels begins with these words? It was the best of times. It was the worst. That would be Bowling Green. Nathan.
Tale of Two Cities.
Tale of Two Cities, indeed. Another multiple choice question. During the 1990s, this dance style underwent a revival thanks to the amazing skills of performers Gregory Hines and Savion Glover. What is the name of this kind of dance described as one in which the feet become musical instruments? That would be Eastwood. Henry.
Tap dance.
Correct. In addition to his depiction of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in his work, The Holy Family, this Renaissance artist also painted the creation of Adam on the Sistine Chapel. That would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo is correct. Research indicates that those who suffer from repeated chronic colds and sinus problems could benefit from more fruits that are rich in ascorbic acid. Identify the common name of this vitamin. That would be Eastwood. Scott?
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C is correct. That is all 10 questions in this round. Let's take a look at our score. A very close competition indeed. We have Eastwood at 40 points, and just in the lead with 10 more at 50 is Bowling Green. Stick around. Our risk and reward round is coming up next. Stay tuned. I'm Mark Hathaway, host of BGSU Brain Game. If you find yourself shouting answers from the couch during our show, we have a new club just for you. It's called the Brain Boosters. As a member, you'll receive an invitation to a Brain Game taping and a meet and greet with the cast and crew. But that's not all. Let's meet the starting lineup. With a donation of $60, you'll receive a year-long membership to the Brain Boosters, a Brain Game stress ball, and access to PBS Passport, a streaming library of thousands of your favorite programs. A $90 donation will get you the club membership, PBS Passport, as well as a Brain Game mug. Are you an avid reader of the New York Times? How about wanting to learn a second language on Babbel? Well, a $120 donation will give you a year-long subscription to either service, membership to the Brain Boosters, and access to PBS Passport. And finally, a donation of $150 or more will get you everything I just mentioned, a Brain Game stress ball and mug, a year-long membership to the Brain Boosters, PBS Passport, and a subscription to either Babbel or the New York Times. And let's not forget, you'll receive our monthly preview guide as well. So, what's your answer? You have 3 seconds remaining. There's no time limit on joining. Thanks for supporting WBGU PBS, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. We did have a scoring correction from the last round. The actual answer that we needed was a 4-H group because of the year that it was started. So we do have a scoring correction, and we are tied. We are tied going into this next round. Now, before we get into all of that, I'd like to welcome some new players to the game. For Eastwood in slot number 1, we have a sophomore, and her name is Sophie. And Bowling Green has 3 brand new players for this round. In slot number 1, we have Robert, a senior. We have Owen in slot number 2, also a senior. And in slot number 3, it is Alexander, a junior in slot number 3. Well, this is our risk and reward round, and it goes a little bit something like this. There will be 3 categories to choose from. Inside those categories are 9 questions worth 10 points. The 10th question, you will be able to risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments. You get the question right, you get the points. You get it wrong or a non-answer, no points. If you don't like how the round's gone for you, you can simply pass. Now, like I said, there are 3 categories to choose from. When the team selects it, they will own that category. The second team will have a chance to choose between the remaining 2. So we're tied. So what we did is we flipped a coin during the break, and Eastwood has won that coin toss. So they get to make the selection out of these 3 categories: geometry, social studies, and musical terms with double meanings. What say you?
Social studies.
Social studies it is. We're going to start off with a multiple choice question. Built in 1869 as a merchant vessel and then as a training ship, this classic ship is now on display in Greenwich, England. Identify this lone remaining clipper ship. Is it A, the Golden Hind, B, the Cutty Sark, or C, the HMS Victory? That is going to be Scott.
Option C.
It is incorrect. It was actually B, the Cutty Sark. Question number 2, which U.S. state is home to the universities of Rutgers and Princeton and was also the site of Alexander Hamilton's death at the hands of Aaron Burr? That would be Scott.
New Jersey.
New Jersey is correct. Which Alabama city was the site of Moton Field, where its namesake World War II African-American airmen trained, and the location of a private, historically black university? In time? No. We were looking for Tuskegee there, Tuskegee. This recipient of the 1979 Nobel Peace Prize for her aid to the people of India was officially canonized by Pope Francis in 2016. Who was this selfless Catholic nun named the Saint of Calcutta? Time. Mother Teresa is what we needed there. This type of government rule is by a single person, and citizens have no say or input into the government process. Identify this governmental form that begins with the letter A. That would be Scott.
Absolute monarchy.
Incorrect. Autocracy is what we needed there. Another multiple choice question. During which battle of the War of 1812 did American forces led by William Henry Harrison invade Canada and gain control of Lake Erie? Was it A, Battle of the Thames, B, Battle of New Orleans, or C, Battle of Lundy's Lane? That would be Scott.
Option A.
A is correct, the Battle of the Thames. In 1804, Napoleon was Emperor of France. By 1810, his country ruled a large portion of Europe. Name the famous battle in which he was defeated. That would be Scott.
Waterloo.
Waterloo is correct. What is the name given to the global supercontinent formed during the Paleozoic era and which eventually separated into the continents as we now know them? That would be Sophie.
Pangea.
Pangea is correct. During World War I, what term was used to describe the 28 nations fighting on the side of France, Great Britain, Russia, and the U.S.? That would be Scott.
The Entente.
Incorrect. The Allied powers is what we needed there. Risk and reward time. You have 80 points. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on the subject of social studies. If you don't like it, you can simply pass. The choice, Eastwood, is yours. What are you thinking?
10.
10 points. 10 points on social studies. Here is your risk and reward question. With its source at Thutod Lake and its mouth at Beaufort Sea, the Mackenzie River is considered the longest river in which country in the Western Hemisphere? Scott.
Mexico.
Incorrect. Canada. Canada. Negative 10 points for you, and it is now time to turn our attention to Bowling Green. You have the choice between geometry and musical terms with a double meaning.
We're going to go with musical terms with a double.
Musical terms, two meanings. It is a vertical line that divides a musical staff into measures or a long, rigid piece of metal or wood. Time, not in time. We needed bar there. The movable part of a trombone or a piece of glass on which a specimen is placed for viewing under a microscope. That would be Robert.
A slide.
A slide is correct. It is the fundamental note of any chord or the part of a plant that anchors it to the ground. That would be Robert.
A root.
A root is correct. It is a curved line connecting two notes that are on the same line or space, or a man's fashion accessory. That would be Robert.
A tie.
Tie is correct. It is the full set of pipes in an organ that are controlled by one stop or a verb meaning to sign up for an event. That would be Robert.
Register.
Register is correct. It is the 5 lines on which musical notes are written or a group of employees at a company. That would be Robert.
A staff.
A staff is correct. It is a sequence of musical notes ordered by pitch or a device used to weigh things. That would be Robert.
A scale.
Scale is correct. It is a symbol that lowers a note by a half step or a level surface. That would be Robert.
A flat.
Flat is correct. It is the basic unit of rhythm, or a word that means to win over someone in a competition. That would be Owen.
Beat.
Beat is correct. Risk and reward time. You may risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments, or you can pass.
We're going to go with 20 points.
20 points. Risk and reward, musical terms with two meanings. It is a sign placed at the beginning of a musical composition to indicate the key or your handwritten autograph. That would be Robert.
A signature.
Signature is correct, plus 20 for you. That ends the round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Eastwood currently with 70 and Bowling Green at 140. We're just getting started here at BGSU Brain Game. Why? Because the category round's coming up next, where questions are worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. We did have a scoring correction at the end of that last round. Eastwood now stands at 90 points and Bowling Green at 140 points. Absolute Monarchy and Entente were indeed acceptable answers. All right, before we move to the next category round, let's welcome back some players for Bowling Green. In slot number 1, let's welcome back Nathan. In slot number 2, Ariana. In slot number 3, Owen. Eastwood is staying with their lineup from the last round. This is indeed the category round. There are 6 categories to choose from. Inside each category, our questions were 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But Captain, red alert, shields up. Why? Because deductions start now. If you go for 20, you're actually risking 20 points as well. There is a double or nothing question hiding somewhere in there worth double the points. No deduction for an incorrect answer on that one. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. But I do want to remind everybody, just because you select a question does not mean that you own that question. All questions are open to all buzzers at all times. With that being said, Eastwood, since you were at 90 points, you get to make the first selection.
Science begins with G, 20.
Science begins with G for 20 points. A renewable energy resource derived from the Earth's internal heat. That would be Bowling Green. Owen.
Geothermal.
Geothermal is correct. Bowling Green takes control.
Mathematical terms, 10.
Mathematical terms, 10 points. Identify the math terms. All answers are 4 letters long. What is the term for the average of a set? That would be Eastwood. Scott.
Mean.
Correct. Eastwood in control.
Games potpourri for 15.
Games for 15. What 2 teams played in the Super Bowl on February 9th, 2025? That would be Eastwood. Scott.
The Eagles and the Chiefs.
The Eagles and the Chiefs is correct. In control is Eastwood.
Games for 20.
Games for 20 points. In the United States, this game has 38 numbers on a specially designed wheel. Nearly every gambling casino has one. That would be Bowling Green. Owen.
Roulette.
Roulette is correct. Bowling Green takes back control.
Math terms for 15.
Math terms now for 15 points. Forget the 4 letters here. A symbol, usually a letter that represents, that would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Variable.
Variable is correct, yes. Bowling Green in control.
Math terms for 20.
Math terms for 20 points. What type of number cannot be represented with a coordinate on a number line nor expressed? That would be Eastwood. Henry.
Imaginary.
Incorrect. Nor expressed as a fraction of 2 numbers. That would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Irrational.
Irrational numbers is what we needed there, yes. Bowling Green in control.
Math terms for 20. 5.
Math terms for 25 points. The numerical factor multiplied by a variable in an algebraic expression. That would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Coefficient.
Coefficient is correct. BG in control, making a move.
Math terms for 30.
Math terms now for 30 points. An expression of more than two algebraic terms, especially the sum of seven. That would be Eastwood. Henry.
Polynomial.
Polynomial is correct. And Eastwood takes back control.
Games for 25.
Games for 25 points. In the game of Yahtzee, what does Yahtzee mean? That would be Eastwood. Scott.
All dice rolled the same number.
Correct. Eastwood in control, making a move of their own.
Science begins with a G for 15.
Science begins with a G for 15 points. The complete set of genetic material present in a cell or organism. That would be Bowling Green. Ariana.
Gene.
Cannot accept that. Eastwood, chance to steal. That would be Scott.
DNA.
Incorrect. Genome is what we needed there. Genome. Eastwood in control.
Games for 30.
Games for 30 points. How many cards are used in a game of cribbage? Time 52. 52. Eastwood in control.
Science for 25.
Science begins with G for 25 points. The process of coating iron or steel with a layer of zinc to prevent corrosion. That would be Bowling Green. Nathan.
Galvanize?
Will we accept galvanize? Yes, we will. Galvanization. BG in control.
Science begins with G for 30.
Science begins with G for 30 points. High energy, short wavelength electromagnetic. That would be Eastwood. Scott.
Gamma rays.
Gamma. Will we accept? Yes. Gamma. Eastwood in control.
Poetry for 25.
Poetry for 25. The arrangement of language and order of words used to convey the poem's content. Time. Syntax is what we needed there. Eastwood in control.
Poetry for 20.
Poetry for 20 points. Short poem engraved on a tombstone. That would be Eastwood. Henry.
Epitaph.
Epitaph is correct. Eastwood in control.
Poetry for 30.
Poetry now for 30. Type of poem that does not have rhyming lines. Time. We would have accepted blank verse, free verse, or open form. Eastwood in control.
Woman in history for 25.
Women in history for 25 points. Identify the woman in U.S. history described. Mary Harris was a labor leader and social reformist. By what other name was this social activist known? Time. That would be Mother Jones. Eastwood still in control.
Woman for 20.
Women in history for 20. Founder of the American Red Cross and nurse during the Civil War. Time. Clara Barton is what we needed there. Eastwood still in control.
Poetry for 15.
Poetry for 15 points. Who was the first woman appointed to the United States Supreme Court? Time. Not in time. Sandra Day O'Connor is what we needed there. Eastwood, still yours.
Woman for 30.
End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Eastwood 185, Bowling Green 250. Still anybody's game, so you're going to want to stick around because the brainstorm round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Eastwood 185, Bowling Green 250 points. Before we move to our next round and final round, let's welcome some new and returning players. In slot number 1 for Eastwood, we have Brendan, a sophomore. In slot number 1 for Bowling Green, it is Cole, a senior. And in slot number 3, it is Robert. And welcome to you who are just joining us for this round and those who are returning. This is the brainstorm round, the final round. Each question in this round is 20 points, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, and you cannot, I repeat, you cannot steal a question in this round. Eastwood, Bowling Green. Brainstorm round starts right now. In the Bible, their names were the same. One was the son of Japheth, and one was the wife of Hosea. What name did they share? Time. Gomer is what we needed there. Which composer and immigrant to Great Britain wrote the concerto for pipe organ, the cuckoo, and the nightingale? His other works include the oratorio Messiah. Handel's Messiah is what we were looking for. Handel, I should say. Among the X-Men mutants, he sports 6 retractable bone claws. That would be Eastwood. Scott.
Wolverine.
Wolverine, yes. Developed in 1876, which library book classification system divides books? That would be Eastwood. Scott.
Dewey Decimal System.
Dewey Decimal is correct. These interesting word or sentence forms occur when the letters combined from left to right spell the same word when combined. That would be Bowling Green. Robert.
Palindrome.
Palindrome is correct. This form of radio wave has the shortest wavelength and the highest frequency. That would be Eastwood. Scott.
Gamma ray.
Incorrect. What is, no stealing, that would be a microwave, by the way. Before the introduction of the euro, this monetary unit was used in Belgium, France, and Luxembourg. That would be Eastwood. Brendan.
Mark.
Say again?
Mark.
Incorrect. The franc is what we needed there. Peter Fabergé became famous for his creation of these beautifully decorated, that would be Eastwood. Brendan.
Fabergé egg.
Eggs, yes, eggs. Identify the metal that is present in azurite and malachite and chalcopyrite. Its atomic number is 29, and it is located in the periodic table of the elements between nickel and zinc. That would be Eastwood. Scott.
Copper.
Copper is correct. Which European city was established at established as the Merovingian capital in 508 AD, and it lies on the Seine River and is the present-day capital of France? That would be Bowling Green. Cole.
Paris.
Paris is correct. What type of growth is demonstrated by an animal population that begins with 2 animals and then grows to, that would be Eastwood. Henry.
Exponential.
Exponential, indeed, is what we were looking for. What type of hammer that is used by carpenters has 1 flat surface for striking and 2 curved appendages for removing nails or for prying other objects? That would be claw hammer. Let's take a look at our score. Eastwood 245, Bowling Green 290. BG is our winner. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. And in the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's come out, meet in the middle, shake hands, bump some fists, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.